Tell me how I get a notification with this nigga, racist old Biden, over here saying being a cop is one hell of a lot harder than it's ever been. Wow. So you're telling me that being a cop, being a police officer, is the hardest job known to man? Or are you saying that it now has gotten tougher over the years? I'm confused. Which one? What are you implying? Are police officers? Do police officers have a much harder job compared to everyone else? Or are you saying that being a cop suddenly got a bit harder? And now, because it got a bit harder, he feels the need to let it be known that, hey, being a cop is now a little bit more difficult than what it was before. Just a little bit more difficult. Or are you saying that just because the amount of police officers that died increased in 2020 compared to 2018? Are you saying that? Because if it's all those arguments, if it's three of those arguments with three of them, if it's something along those lines, I should say, to clarify, if it's something along those lines and or similar, then hold on. Because I have a little trouble believing in that, because I actually know one job that's a hell of a lot harder than being a cop. And if he's saying that being a cop is harder because of the increased death, and he's also if that's not the case, and instead he's saying that being a cop is now harder compared to a few years ago. Or he could be just saying that being a cop is literally the hardest job in the world. If it's free of those statements, which is what I referenced earlier, if it's free of those statements, then I have a little known fact that will surprise you and will actually debunk each one of those claims. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be right back. Everyone, I would like you to meet the job profession that's a lot harder and more dangerous than that of a cop's. And that fact, instead of saying why that is, I'm gonna read this for you. And I'm gonna let you I'm gonna let you figure out the conclusion for yourself. I'm gonna let you figure it out. I ain't gonna say nothing about it. Instead, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna read. The Finn Ballet line. Why being a delivery driver is more dangerous than being a cop. A recent TikTok has gained some traction, pointing out that being a delivery driver is actually more dangerous than being a police officer. It features a Papa John's delivery driver getting ready for work, ironically steering up for dangers at hand. But TikTok seems to pull statistics from this Reddit post with further pulls from this US Today article, citing statistics from 2016 Bureau of Labor reports. These reports say that you are more likely to die on the job as a delivery driver, 24/7 annual deaths per 100,000 workers, than as a police officer, 14.6 annual deaths per 1,000 workers. On the US Today list of the 25 most dangerous jobs in America, working working in law enforcement is only number 14. The most dangerous is logging jobs. A lot of the Reddit users on that post point out that the myth of the dangers of police work are essentially untrue. In 2018, for example, of the 687,100 workers, police and sheriff officers, there were only 108 fatal work injuries. Meanwhile, death by police fire is on an upward trend year over year, with death by police in 2018 totaling 996. 996. Huh. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Checking the Bureau of Labor Statistics in 2019 against statistics presented by US Today also confirmed these trends. According to the Bureau's website, of the 5,553 total workplace fatalities in America, delivery drivers made up 1,005 of them. Furthermore, cop deaths are actually going down year over year. According to FBI statistics in 2019, there were only 89 line of duty deaths. Of these, 48 officers died as a result of felonious acts, and 41 officers died in accidents. Well, the only thing that's not true is like the deaths that police officers going down, because actually this year, in 2020 it actually went up. That's true. In 2020 it was actually like 260 or 266. Hold on. Matter of fact, should I? Yeah, hold on. I'll show you guys. Okay, so it's actually on the website, the numbers themselves, but I really didn't want to do all that. So instead, I'm just gonna tell you. It's actually in 2020, 264 police officers died in 2020. 264. That's the honest truth. 264. You can look up for yourself. So I believe that the numbers decreased, but what happened with George Floyd and the riots and the protests, that's probably the main reasons. One of the main reasons probably increased because of a lot of tension that was around 2020. So yeah, that's what I believe happened. But in any case, that's still pretty. The number itself is still pretty small compared to literally everyone else. I mean, that's all I gotta say about that. Why delivery drivers have such high death rate isn't entirely clear, though it seems it can't be chalked up to car accidents. According to a report by Vice in 2015, there is actually significant occurrences of man-on pizza man violence throughout the country. For this is no isolated incident, not by a long shot. Here's a little sample of man-on pizza man violence this year alone. Hold on, what year is this? 2021. Okay, here we go. A female Domino's driver in Bay Area suburb was robbed at gunpoint, taken to an isolated location, and sexually assaulted. In Lincoln, I can't pronounce it. MD, a driver was, well, I don't feel comfortable pronouncing it. A driver was warned by 4 guys with machetes. One of them pressed a blade to his throat. He gave up the loot. A Domino driver was shot to death in New Orleans at the end of March. The second Domino's driver killed in 6 months there. An Alabama driver was beaten within an inch of his life for less than $20. Niggas are really petty out here. It's ridiculous. A driver in Houston got bloodied up, but this was old hat. Huh? But this was an old hat? I don't know. In 2013, Robert stole this same guy's cell phone, then saw him in the elbow as he tried to flee. There are further reports cited throughout the Vice article for something that for many feels like a joke and canonically and statistically, analysts unpacks a cultural misunderstanding here. Delivery is a dangerous profession. That's it. Okay, so this article was posted on October 12th, 2021. So it's pretty recent. Right? Pretty recent. So with that said, let's go back to Biden. So to top this video up, what he's saying is, what racist old Biden saying is doing is lying to you. Like it's a lie that he's lying to your face in order to protect people in blue, because people in blue are out here killing black people. Like, don't forget, Biden is a racist, just like Trump. He is a racist. The only difference is he's quiet about it. He's real quiet about it. I believe it's one of the main reasons he's doing this, just to get more black people off the streets into the ground. That's my opinion. Like, looking at the statistics, looking at the facts, I truly believe this is the case, or one of the main reasons. But all this is doing is feeding you false information, propaganda, all in order to promote to a certain base of his followers, and to either gain more followers, or maybe some people in the Trump, or maybe some former Trump supporters, or still Trump supporters, to come on his side. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's at the end of the day, he's just trying to get more people to like him. That's what's happening. You're just trying to get more people to like him. That's what's going on. He's trying to get more people to like him, and more black people killed, and Hispanics. And Hispanics too. Right? That's a fact as well. I never really mentioned them before, but like, still, I feel a need to like point out at least once. But yeah, don't believe what he fucking says. Instead of focusing on police officers, we still be focused on delivery drivers and how we can protect them. But instead of doing that and actually saving a lot of lives, he's over here trying to promote the race soldiers as heroes that America needs. And of course, you have the speech of honoring fallen officers, which the only thing I gotta say about that is fuck every single one of them. Fuck every single one of them. That's all I gotta say about that. It's cool, I know, but I really don't care. I really don't. I really don't care. Fuck every single one of them.